Well, howdy do, y'all. I bought this one actually last weekend, and then things came up and I never got to it. It is a Prairie Artisan Ales Okie, made by people that truly care, from Oklahoma with love. PrairieAles.com, Prairie Artisan Ales. Okie, Imperial Brown Ale, aged in oak whiskey barrels. The website actually lists it at 10%, the bottle at 12. I usually tend to believe the bottle when there's a discrepancy, but there we go. I poured this rather aggressively, and it kind of fought to get ahead, but never quite got there. It's not necessarily unusual in whiskey barrel aged ales that I found. I've had a couple do that. Not everyone lacks head, but this one just never quite got there. There's not a lot of carbonation going on here, and this is rather, excuse me, goddamn, I apologize for scratching my frickin' nose in front of you, but this weather is just eating me up. Literally and figuratively. Wow. It is, anyway, we're saying it has a fine date on it. It's brand new out there, so it hasn't sat, but sometimes that happens in an ale such as this. They tell you on their website to look for notes of molasses, brown sugar, vanilla, oak, etc., that type of thing. You certainly can smell some vanilla on the vanilla. You can smell some bourbon on the nose, is what I meant to say. I certainly feel a good amount of bourbon and oak. As I'm getting some of that brown sugar and molasses I talked about, the vanilla is very light on the nose. No, I'm wrong. Now that I am getting more, and I did have this probably a tad colder to start with than it needs to be, so that will probably, you know, come out more, that get more fragrant as it warms. Wow, it's wow. I was getting some of those sugar notes, the brown sugar, the molasses on the aroma, but not in a heavy sweet way. But it is very, very sweet on the taste. I mean, very sweet. It's very sweet. Yeah, it's a lot. I feel a lot of like a Muscovado brown sugar type notes. It's a very dark brown sugar. When it finishes is okay. Hold on, let me take a drink and see if I can explain it right. It's kind of a medium mouthfeel. It's not heavy as you might expect a 10 or 12% barrel aged beer to be, but it doesn't feel watery neither. It doesn't feel too heavy. Doesn't feel too thin. It's just right, just like baby bear's porridge. And you do feel some of that bourbon, those bourbon notes, the vanilla right in the middle. But I get like the stinging, again, very dark brown, Muscovado-like brown sugar notes right at the end, almost like where you would typically find hops to dry out the sweetness and clean it up. I mean, that's which is kind of an odd thing to say. I know I'm fighting sugar with sugar, but that kind of feels what it happens is that the sugar cleans itself up. I do feel the booze, but not in an unpleasant way. It is extremely drinkable. If I had to guess, had I not known anything about this beer, I'd probably guess it at closer to 8 than 10 or 12, because it doesn't, it is very easy to drink. It's very likable. It's very approachable for the style. I'm not comparing this to a Pilsner. For a barrel-aged beer, it is extremely approachable. The flavors are there that you'd expect. It's put together well. It's nothing necessarily new under the sun. I'm not finding anything different, off-putting or wow necessarily about it for the style. It does what you want a beer like this to do. It is so humid out here. My glasses are fogging up as I speak. It rained like a son of a gun this morning, and now it's just gotten humid as all hell. So it's a fine beer. Listen, it was $10 a 12-ounce bottle. Rather expensive, especially for a guy like me. I don't typically want to pay that. But I also know that if I were to purchase this out, it would probably be about $10 for a 6-ounce pour. You know, they'd pour it in a glass like this to about here. You'd get maybe 6 to 8 ounces top end. So anyways, but I just really want to try it once, and I am a fan of anything in a whiskey barrel. This one is certainly good. Would I buy it again? That's a tough question, because I have so many favorites of whiskey barrel aged ales and stouts. The truth is, I probably would. I probably won't buy it again this season, but if it comes out next year, I'd probably see if it had any changes to it. So, hey, I'm Tony the Beer Whisperer. Keep drinking. A quick late addendum, and I know I've ran a little long anyway, but I poured it real hard to get the last of it, the remaining few ounces in the glass to try to get a head on it, and it came up quick and then dissipated. So, you know, you're just not going to. Again, it's not necessarily unusual in a style like this, but, you know, just so that I let you know.